The matching altar and the death of Joshua. Dear friends, didn't we end the previous story with Joshua allotting the inheritance of the Israelites according to the lot? In today's story, we will go into a little more detail about that and the end of Joshua's life. God, who was fighting for Israel, did not destroy their enemies in a single day or in a few days. The Lord decided to give Israel cities they did not build, vineyards and olive orchards they did not plant as their inheritance. So he removed their enemies little by little, lest the wild beasts grow too numerous for them. Thus Israel started possessing their inheritance. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had sworn to their fathers. Not one of all their enemies had withstood them, for the Lord had given all their enemies into their hands. 5 to 6 years after the Israelites entered their promised land, Caleb son of Jephunneh from the tribe of Judah came to Joshua at Gilgal and asked for Mount Hebron as his possession. Mount Hebron was given to Caleb because when they returned from spying out Canaan, he stayed away from the majority's opinion and wholly followed the Lord with Joshua. Then they set up the tent of meeting at Shiloh. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord. And there Joshua apportioned the land to the people of Israel, to each his portion. Then, according to God's command, Joshua set aside 6 towns from their inheritance as cities of refuge. Then, according to God's word, the people of Israel gave the Levites 48 cities and pasture lands out of their inheritance. The Israelite tribes had the responsibility of fully possessing their inheritance, but many of them did not completely drive out their enemies from their possession. They put them for forced labor. At that time, Joshua summoned the Reubenites, Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and allowed them to return to the land which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them on the other side of the Jordan. When Joshua sent them away to their homes, he blessed them and gave them the spoil of their enemies: livestock, silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and much clothing. So they parted from the Israelites. And they came to their land and built an altar by the Jordan, an altar of huge size. And when the remaining 9½ tribes of Israel heard this, they gathered at Shiloh to make war against them. Then the people of Israel sent to them Phinehas son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 chiefs, one from each of the tribal families of Israel, to find the truth of the situation. They were not supposed to offer sacrifices anywhere except the altar at the place where God chooses. Those who were sent inquired about the reason for building the altar. In reply, they said that they built a copy of the altar of the Lord from fear that in time the children of the Israelites on the promised land will say to the children of the Israelites on the other side of the Jordan, "The Lord has made the Jordan a boundary between us and you. You have no possession in the Lord." That is why they made this altar, not for burnt offerings nor for sacrifice, but as a witness between them. After learning the truth, the chiefs returned in peace. A long time afterward, when the Lord had given rest to Israel from all the surrounding enemies, and Joshua was old and well advanced in years, he summoned all Israel and spoke to them, and told them to be strong and do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, turning aside from it neither to the right nor to the left, because the Lord fought their battles and gave the land as their possession. He also said that they should not mix with the other nations remaining among them, or make mention of the names of their gods, or swear by them, or serve them, or bow down to them. But if they do not obey and associate and make marriages with them, those nations will be a snare and trap for them, a whip on their sides and thorns in their eyes, until they perish from this good ground that the Lord has given them. Now, since they live in cities they have not built, and eat the fruit of vineyards and olive orchards that they do not plant, they should fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and faithfulness. And Joshua said that he and his household will serve the Lord. In reply to that, the people said, "We also will serve the Lord, for he is our God." So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and put in place statutes and rules for them at Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God. And he took a large stone and set it up there, as the witness that they have heard the words of God under the terebinth that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. After these things, Joshua the son of Nun died, being 110 years old. In the next video, we will see the overview of the book of Joshua and the message it gives us. God bless you.